All right, I wanted to give you some tips, and there's 25 of them, and so you might want to jot down or have a pen and a piece of paper. I didn't put them on anything this morning to where I could, make a snapshot of it and share it with you later. So you may want to have your pen and paper handy. Okay, guys, I'm going to get to it. I don't want to take up all of your all's time this morning. I know Mondays are crazy. They're crazy around here. But the first tip I have for you, again, there's 25 of them. So the first tip is business tips, guys. We all get asked questions all the time in our business. So as it's specific to you and your business, what kind of tips can you give people? What kind of, if you're in SEO, for example, and that's your area of expertise, can you write down 10 tips or whatever that you could share, incrementally on your social media presences? People love tips. Humor, number 2, humor. So many people try to segment their social presence and say, oh, well, we're just a business. We can't put out anything that's not business related. I'm just going to throw a massive flag on that, guys. People will connect with you around things that they care about, that they find relatable, way before they connect around your business or your product or your service. So be relatable, guys, and people love humor. So humor is one of my top engagement tools. Whether it's, funny memes or whether you just have something funny that's happening in your life or your business, share that. Again, people love it. Think about how you engage. Do you find yourself drawn more to a sales pitch or more to something that's, fun and engaging and entertaining? So share things that are humorous. Number 3, inspiration. Did you know that inspiration on social media across every platform out there, the number 1 most shared type of content on social today is inspiration, guys? So that's whether it's on Instagram. I found this to be true, incidentally, even on LinkedIn. Incredible that so many people connect around inspiration or motivation. And, I've long shared, if you've ever looked at any of my social presences, you'll see that I share a lot of inspirational content or motivational. And as entrepreneurs, we need that connection, in my opinion. We need to be inspired. We need to be motivated because we're not all self-motivated. You need to have that. You have a down day, maybe you need a little pick-me-up. So motivation is the number 1 most shared type of content on social media today. If you have the skill sets to make the visual content, today there's so many amazing tools out there that you can create your own content, visual content using Canva or some of the phone apps today like Typorama. Legend is another one that allows you to create animated memes, inspirational quotes. So all of those types of things is amazing, and it doesn't suck down a lot of our time, and we don't have to have a lot of graphic skills to make that work. So Canva, the 3 tips I had for you to do your own inspirational comments, quotes, motivation, whatever, your own memes is Canva. That's web-based, Typorama or WordSwag, and Legend. So 4, open-ended questions. I get the most engagement from open-ended questions. One of the most, and I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to tell you one and you're going to say, really? And then I want you to go try it. It's probably been, 2 or 3 years ago, I posted an open-ended question on my Facebook page that said peanut butter and open-ended question or fill in the blank kind of thing. And people loved it. Yesterday I posted one that was something about, famous music or what's the most popular music or what's your favorite type of music, more specifically. So ask open-ended questions. People love to talk. They love to answer questions. So, there's, in fact, if you'll go to the Google machine, if you're stumped on what kind of open-ended questions to ask, go to the Google machine, type in open-ended questions, and voila, you will have a ton of resources and content to generate some ideas of your own. But I promise you, if you post that one, what was it, the peanut butter and jelly one? Trust me, you are going to get a ton of people answering that question. Yes, people love to be seen for who they are and the value they bring. Thank you, Monica. I love that comment. So that's 4, guys. 5, offers and deals. Did you know that this is still the #1 reason that people like brands on Facebook? Because they want a deal. Who doesn't want a deal? We all love deals. We all love free offers. We all love coupons. We all love discounts. So share those types of things on your Facebook page or on Instagram or any of your social platforms for that matter. You know, give people a deal. So that's 5. 6 is, you know, let people see a sneak peek into either your business or your life. You know, if you're a solopreneur, it's a little bit easier to say, oh, you know, here's a picture of me and my kids, you know, raking leaves in the yard on a fall afternoon. Or, you know, here we are doing this, or here I am doing that. You know, those are kinds of things that are a little bit easier when you're, you know, a straight up business. It's a little harder to say, well, what am I going to share? I've got, you know, I've got 15 people working for me or whatever. Well, let them see behind the scenes. You know, Chocolate Johnny here on Periscope does that amazingly well on Periscope. But technically, you can do it exactly the same thing with, you know, photos. Take a snapshot, you know, showcase your business on other social platforms by letting people see behind the scenes. Whether that's your personal life, things that are happening with you personally, or whether that's, you know, things that are happening inside your business. And you don't have to be just, you know, even as a solopreneur, you can share what's happening in your business. You know, lots of ways, but yet so many times we don't slow down long enough to showcase the day-to-day of what's happening. And that's what people love. People love to feel like they're a part of what's happening in your business. And I can't tell you the amount of people that have reached out to me or have met me in person, and they know things. Why do they know things? Like they'll reference something, you know, that happened in my personal life that was years, or maybe not years, but months ago, simply because they saw it on social media. So again, it's such a great way to, you know, let people engage and connect with you. So 6 was behind the scenes. 7, opinions. Give yours and ask for theirs, and or simply ask for theirs. I mean, there's a couple of variations of this. You know, maybe you give an opinion on, you know, something in your niche, and then ask, what do they think? You know, ask your community, ask your audience, your tribe. Guys, this is what my thoughts are on this. What are yours? Again, people love to give their feedback. So opinions, everyone has one. Yes, Keisha, I love that. So that was 7. 8, industry news. Guys, we all have things happening in our business or in our space, and yet we sometimes don't think to share these, because the reality is, you know, lots of times people don't have access or don't know or don't slow down long enough to, you know, research and find out certain types of information. So there's a huge value proposition in this. One, you are educating your community on things that are happening in your space or in your niche, but you are also, if you do this routinely, you will become an industry news leader, a thought leader. People will come to you because they know you know what's happening. So it's a consistent strategy, absolutely. You know, Mari Smith does this amazingly well. You know, she's a Facebook expert. On her fan page, she shares, you know, tips, resources, etc. as it relates to Facebook, and people go to her because they know she is going to have the inside scoop on what's happening on Facebook. So share those things, become a thought leader, be an industry source for news for your industry. So that was 8. 9, I kind of referenced before, fill in the blanks. You know, it's kind of like an open-ended question, but open-ended questions are literally kind of a question. But fill in the blanks are great as well. You know, you can just leave it out. You know, make it fun. Same example that I gave, or same idea that I gave you earlier about if you're stumped on, you know, what to do for fill in the blanks, go to the Google machine, type fill in the blanks, and fill in the blank questions, and I promise you, or fill in the blank, you will get tons of ideas that you can, repurpose and or, craft that are specific to you and your space. So absolutely do the fill in the blanks. They work. Again, it's a way to engage people, get them to communicate and connect with you. So that's a great one. 10. And this is one that amazes me that so many people don't do this. Strike up a conversation, guys. When you go to a social event, don't you strike up a conversation with somebody? It's exactly the same on social media. Take the time, strike up a conversation, maybe give your personal take on an issue, ask what they think. It's not quite the same as an opinion. It's more of a conversation starter. How are you today? Or, one of the ones that I have seen, Gary Vaynerchuk did this one time on Twitter, and I thought it was incredible. It was just a simple question that, again, was a conversation starter for him. He said, "How was your day today, guys?" It was at the end of the day, and he had an hour of time or whatever time he set aside, and he just said, "Hey, how was your day today, guys?" And that's a conversation starter, guys. It was a door opener for him to talk to, literally, in his case, hundreds of people. So, take the time to strike up those conversations. If somebody is, tweeting you, instead of just, saying, "Hey, thanks for the retweet," or not acknowledging it at all, ask them a question. How was your weekend? Simple conversations can be an amazing way to build relationships. Okay, so we're about halfway through. Testimonials. Guys, we are so used to seeing testimonials on our websites, right? And we all know that we should be using testimonials on our websites. Yet we don't do that on social media. Why in the world do we not do this? So let me give you a quick tip. One of the most effective strategies that I used to sell books when I launched my book was that I took the testimonials that people would leave over on Amazon. I created a graphic of those, and guess what, guys? I put them on my fan page. I shared them on Twitter. I shared them on Instagram. So it's another way to, instead of saying, "Oh, go buy my book," or "Go buy my product," or "Go buy my service," or "Hey, I've got the best deal going," or "I know I can help you." Instead of you saying those things, let someone else say those things. And then share them and let people know that somebody else said this. So toot your own horn without blowing it. Absolutely, Pamela. That's exactly what I'm saying. And yet so many people don't use the testimonials they get in their business on social media. They just pop them on their website. And then it's great for sales pages and stuff if you're running a sales campaign, but otherwise people never see them. So share those testimonials, guys. Put them out there. Let people know that other people value your services or your products. So 11 is testimonials. 12, hold open Q&As. One of the things that I've done it here on Periscope, I've done it on my Facebook page, I even do it in some of my private paid for support groups, where people have bought products for me and from me, and then I have a Facebook group that's specific to that product. I do this for my Periscope course, for example. I have a support group on Facebook for those people to ask questions, people who purchase. And then, every once in a while, whether it's that group or another one, I'll do an open Q&A and I'll say, "Hey, I'm going to be available for the next hour. Ask any question you want, guys. You can do them here on Periscope. You can do them on your Facebook page, but Q&As are absolutely effective. So highly suggest that you use those. Use a poll. This is 13. Use a poll to collect opinions and or ideas. This is really value-based because one, it's an engagement tool, but it's also a great way to get a great information. When you ask for kind of people's opinion on certain things, and it's kind of like an multiple choice question, essentially, back in the test days for us. It's kind of the same thing, except that, you get that feedback and there is no wrong answer, obviously. If you only get one comment, you could advertise it. Okay, so this is a side, I saw that comment go by. You know, one of the things on our Facebook pages, for example, is we can do a poll. Okay, well, what if you're not getting a bunch of, you know, comments or engagement on that poll on your Facebook page? Hey, tweet it. Tweet it over on Twitter or share it on your personal profile. You know, drive people to that poll to get people to engage with it, because they may not see it otherwise. As we know, Facebook is messing with our reach. So why not, you know, let people know that you have it on your Facebook page. Guys, that's a twofer. That's what I call that. When you're driving traffic to your Facebook page from another social platform, you have the opportunity to get them to engage with that particular piece of content, but you also have an opportunity to get them to like your fan page, right? So leverage those opportunities. Let people know on your other social platforms that you're having something or something's going on your fan page, or vice versa on your Twitter profile. So that was 13. 14, great one, is caption a photo. People love photos that are like elicit creativity. So caption of photos are awesome. I haven't done one in a while, but I've always gotten great response from those. 15, make predictions. You know, that's one of the things on Facebook or on social across the board. You know, people love predictions. They want to know, you know, what do you think? Now, sometimes those predictions backfire on us, but that's okay. Predictions are just what they are. You know, maybe you see a trend happening and, you know, you make a prediction on it. So that was 15. 16, crowdsource ideas. Ask other people for ideas. You know, it kind of goes back to those, you know, when you're asking for opinions, but be specific. In other words, maybe you're getting ready to do a new product or a new coaching platform or anything of that nature. Then ask people what they think. Crowdsource ideas. You will always get amazing feedback if you crowdsource ideas. Okay, so 17, current events. You know, this is great because it gives you an opportunity to capitalize on what? Hashtags. It gives you an opportunity to be found under hashtags that are commonly or that are trending. So, you know, anything that's happening on Facebook, for example, go look at the trends, guys, and then maybe make a post about that particular trend and leverage that hashtag. Now you have an opportunity to get into the feed for that trend. So that was 17, was current events. 18 is highlight your customers, guys. So many people don't take the time to do this. You know, give the kudos to those who are, you know, buying your products and services, or maybe your top fans, or just pull out a fan on your Facebook page. Same on Twitter, you know, give shout outs to people, special, you know, follow shout outs. Let people know that you value them. It's important. So 19, tips. Tech tips or tools. People love tools, or they love tech tips. You know, I gave you guys several tech tool tips, and one of the other tips, you know, things that you can use that'll shorten your learning curve, or shorten the time, or give you a way to do something in a faster timeline, or do something that you couldn't have done otherwise because you don't have graphic skills, for example. So tech tips, tools are great. 20, we're getting there, guys. 20, great advice, yours or others. You know, it doesn't have to be your advice, but if you have some great advice, or you feel like it's great advice, share your advice. Share something that you learned from a mistake you made. It doesn't have to be a success, although it could be a success. You know, I did XYZ and this is what happened. So share your experiences, yours again or others. It doesn't have to be your experiences. Think out loud. You know, this is one of the things that I do quite frequently, is something will be said on social media and it will make me think of something else, or it'll spawn an idea, or, you know, something. Even kind of rants sometimes are generated through things that happen on social media. So, you know, thinking out loud, whether it's a rant or whether it's just a thought in the moment, and then take that opportunity to share that. Those are as real as they get too, by the way. So thinking out loud, some would say, well, do you put a filter on that? It's up to you guys. Sometimes rants, you might want to step back from a 10-minute, or, count to 10 and say, okay, whew, deep breath before you put it out there. But, every rant I've ever done has driven tons of engagement. So just saying. So thinking out loud was 21. 22 is recommend others to follow. I kind of mentioned this in one of the other tips, but take this to a new level, and literally every week, who would you recommend? Do it as a blog post, put it out on Twitter. Whatever the case is, the recommendations are huge. We've seen them here on Periscope when people are recommending certain people to follow, top Periscopers. Everybody has people in their niche that they might want to share with their community. So absolutely use the other recommend. 22, recommend others to follow. 23, debunk myths in your niche. There's always things out there that people assume to be true when they're not true. So take the time and say, guys, this isn't true or isn't always the case because of whatever it is. So debunk those myths. 24, share video or audio clips. Now, we see people sharing video all the time. Well, not all the time, but it's pretty frequent. You hear this tip quite frequently. But yet you don't hear people say, hey, you should be sharing audio tips or audio clips. Those are just as impactful, guys. In fact, maybe in some cases more impactful, because people are maybe on their phone and they can't listen or can't watch something, but yet they can listen to something. So absolutely share video and or audio clips. And last but not least, and this is the biggie. Everybody ready for the biggie? Tap that screen if you're ready for the biggie. All right, the biggie is ask your followers or your fans what their biggest pain points are. You will get incredible feedback from this. Plus, if you know what your audience wants, or your tribe or your community, whatever term you want to use, what their pain points are, and you craft your products and your services to address those pain points, when it comes time to sell stuff, oh my goodness, guys, you are in so much better shape because you already know people want it. So that was the last tip. All right, guys, nice chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm pretty much anywhere on social. You can Google my name. You can connect with me on Twitter at Kim Garst. My website's kimgarst.com. And if you're interested in learning how to use Periscope for business, this thing we're on, scopingforbiz.com, guys. Take care. God bless.